Well, it was better.
It was, you know what?
It was better than Notre Dame. We got that right.
It felt like we were like in the middle of like you're in like the middle part of Major League or Bull Durham. Like, oh, they're getting close to turning it around. They didn't quite get there, but like
No, yeah, but
it's
there
like,
was
hey, it's like it's not that meme with the guy with the stick that's like he's poking something, and this time
yeah,
it's Razorback. It's like, do something, do something.
yeah,
He actually went, "Ugh." But you know what
yeah.
that guy really should do, Travis? If that guy with the stick, he should reach out with that stick.
Honest.
Reach out,
Yep. Hmm.
hit the like button,
Yep.
hit it, guy with a stick.
That's right. Hit it.
And if you're having trouble with the stick, maybe it's because it's wood. Maybe put that down and hit it with your finger.
That's right.
And then if the stick works, the stick works. If it doesn't, use your finger. I
Doesn't.
don't care. I mean, I'm not here to tell you how to do it. You
New
work.
technology. New
Yeah, you
technology.
do. You do you, boo boo. I don't care. But then share it, share
Share.
it with your friends, and
That's
then
right.
maybe you'll put the stick down again, and you should subscribe, and then we're coming at you.
That's right.
That's what you should do, guy with a stick.
That's right. And look, we got it. We're gonna talk Tennessee game wrap up. We're gonna talk. The Aggies are coming to town. We're gonna talk. We're gonna give our top list of who we think should be the next coach.
The Hawg Slop big
We're gonna
board.
use our inside and outside non-existent sources to figure that out. So pay
Hawg
attention.
Slop big board.
So right now, though, you need a little music just to kind of get you fired up, just to get you ready, just to get you in the right mindset, kind of like you're working out, kind of like your exercise. You need that, right? You know what I'm talking about, Clint. You listen to
Yeah,
music
there you go.
before you
Hawg
come
Slop
on
big
here.
board.
So right here, Hog Slop Podcast, baby. Get ready, because here we come. Hit it.
1, 2, 3, 4. You ever seen a lame man walk? Ever heard a dumb man talk? Never seen a blind man see? I promise you a change is here. You ever seen a cancer dead? Ever seen all the poor get fed? Ever seen a prisoner set free? I promise you a change is here.
What's up, everybody? It's time. It's time for the Hawg Slop Podcast. I'm your boy, Bigger T, joined as always by my man, flanked by Flamingo as always. Not at
Yeah.
all, most of the time. Big C, Clint Clark, Hall of Famer.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hall of Famer for hanging out. No one hangs out better than me
That's
on the
right.
sidelines. No one snaps the ball over the quarterback's head better than me. In junior high, I do remember we had Coach Buckner on the podcast.
Years
When
ago.
I was in ninth grade, I deep snapped for the punt team. And we played one game at Atkins, and I snapped the ball everywhere but to the punter. I snapped it. I rolled it to him. I think I snapped it out of bounds once. I'm not real sure. But after that, they didn't let me snap anymore, and I did not ask to.
That's right.
Now, Trav, I'm going to tell you, I appreciate you because you were on the lead in. You said you were going to bust me out for listening to Machine Gun Kelly. That's right. I just Eminem'd you.
That's right.
I just Eminem'd you.
You just went lose yourself in the music.
Lose yourself. I also listened to, there's only one Machine Gun Kelly song I know. So I don't listen to him very often, but I happen to be playing it before there, and I didn't want Travis making fun of me. But one of the things I always listen to is I listen to Billy Joel. We're talking about how, like, if we're shuffling through the stations and a Billy Joel song's on, we're stopping.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, Billy Joel's just unbelievable. Now, Travis, my wife has a habit when we're driving, and it drives me crazy because I flip along the stations and I come to like a Billy Joel song. Let's say Uptown Girl. I'm done flipping through stations.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of other songs like that, like The Wait by the Band, just something along those lines.
Yeah.
that I don't listen to a lot, I stop
Yeah.
and I'm done. Anna will keep flipping to see if there's a song that maybe, just maybe, she might like a little bit better. She's like, oh, now do you just stop immediately when you find something you want to listen to, or do you keep flipping, hoping magically, like, oh, well, here's Uptown Girl, but oh my goodness, Landslide by Fleetwood Mac is playing.
No, I usually stop. Yeah. Yeah.
I
I'll
do.
stop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it frustrates me. I get mad at myself, and I don't know why I get mad. It's stupid to get mad because I'm having no control over it. But if I get
Right.
there and it's like the end of the song, I'm like,
Oh,
crap.
that is
I wanted to
frustrating.
hear the rest of that song, but and then I'll look it up. Then I'll just look it up on Apple Music
Right. So
and play it.
you use Apple Music is what you use, huh?
Oh yeah, yeah,
See, I'm an Alexa guy. You know,
yeah, yeah.
I don't even turn my own lights on and off anymore, Travis. That's how bougie your boys got it.
Man,
You
yeah.
know,
I'm still using the old finger to do that.
yeah, nope. I just go, hey, and I've named my living room lights Linda.
Oh, nice.
I just go, hey, Alexa, turn off Linda, and then
There
boom,
you go.
lights off. Like,
Yeah,
turn on. I can turn Linda blue. I can turn Linda pink. You know, I just whatever. It gets weird in there sometimes, Travis.
yeah. I
It's
hope
weird.
somebody named Linda doesn't come over.
Yeah.
Hey, turn off Linda. What? What?
And then Alexa's all confused, and that's
Yeah.
when the robot overlords will take over.
That's
It'll be
that's
about
when AI finally gets us.
like that'll be it. It'll be
And yeah, iRobot becomes true. Which, by the
yeah.
way, okay, here I'm gonna throw something out there.
Okay.
This is random. This is stupid, but it's Travis.
That's our podcast. We do what we
Look
want.
now. Look, okay. Now, do y'all have one of those robot vacuum cleaners?
Oh yeah. Mhm.
Okay, I don't. But what's the main brand for those?
Shark, isn't it?
Well,
No,
there's Shark, but the big one that
is it iRobot? Isn't it?
yes.
Okay, yeah.
Has no one seen that movie?
I mean, I've seen it.
Like like you
Will
watch
Smith.
that movie with Will Smith.
Yeah,
It's
before he
about
slapped
these
Chris Rock.
robots that come in and people put them in their house. They start off as cleaning and helping robots.
Right. Yeah.
Hello. And then they take over and start killing folks.
Do you think,
What
Travis?
that little it's gonna take over. That's why I won't have
Do
one.
you think? No, just yes, no, just yes, no. You ain't got to elaborate. Do I have a transformer in my living room that's going to
Well,
kill?
yes.
Oh crap!
That thing is gonna that thing is I mean
You know
it's
what?
gonna
Anna bought that thing. I knew these women were going to kill me one day. We all knew that was going to happen.
look, it's not that she meant to.
Yeah,
She's fooled by the technology.
yeah,
And lots of people are, okay? And look, Transformers were doing it years ago in the 80s, okay?
yeah.
Soundwave, one of my favorite Transformers, right? He
He
was
was
a
a beatbox.
boombox.
Yeah,
He
boombox.
was a boombox. The kids put him in their room thinking, I want to listen to some jams. Let's go. Let's listen to some Michael Jackson. Let's listen to some good stuff. All of a sudden, the tape comes out and it's a Black Panther that's trying to kill you that shoots lasers at you.
I've seen it 1,000 times.
it's it's what's gonna happen.
Dude, you know how cool you used to feel when you had a boombox
Oh, I had
with,
one.
with
Oh,
a
yeah.
dual cassette player?
Well,
You would put,
mine just had a single, but
oh well,
and it had an 8 track in the end of it.
Tom and Sue spoiled me. They no, they would. Oh my goodness!
Well,
Now
I got
you
my
have a cell
boombox
phone
when
and
I
a
was
pill.
like, I got my boombox when I was like 7 years old.
Okay.
So I was pretty young when I got it. It was before they had. It was easy. It was before it was easier to get the dual.
You remember, now you can just go, hey Alexa, play whatever. I can just say, hey Alexa, play Unskinny Bop by Poison if I wanted to. Not that I would do that kind of thing.
Well, not
But before, if
right
I wanted
now
to listen,
anyway.
yeah,
Later
I mean,
on.
when the podcast is done recording,
Yeah,
probably. but
then-
but no, so you would, but now, back in the day, you had to wait on that song to come on the radio.
oh, and then wait
Hit
for
record.
this. And hit record on your tape deck. Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to
So that you
record.
would have it to listen to whenever you wanted to later, once you
Yeah.
rewound it a few times. Anyway, okay, this is get
Yeah,
off my line.
right now we've like everybody, our listeners are like, okay, boomers.
That's right. Yeah.
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 Think back in my day, we had 4 days.
That's right. Yeah. So anyway, the Razorbacks go into Knoxville, play against the Tennessee Volunteers with our new interim head coach, Bobby Petrino. Back at
Robert Patrick Petrino.
back at the helm, back on the sidelines. Clint, what'd you think, man? What how do you feel about it?
I thought the effort was good.
Mhm.
I thought the game plan was good. Um, but then they was same old, one score loss for the Razorbacks.
Yeah.
Um, and if Petrino wants to keep the job, it's kind of like what I said about Sam Pittman. I think he's got to start figuring out how to win these games.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, a 3-point loss at Tennessee, there's no shame in.
Yeah.
I thought the defense played much better with much more effort, and I think Petrino made it clear if there's not effort, you ain't gonna be in the game.
Yeah.
And I hate to say this because I don't want to because we all love the man. Me and you both did. I don't feel like we got that under Pittman.
Yeah.
Like it was almost like, well, you're the more talented player. Your lack of effort was tolerated. I guarantee you, Steve Mullins would have pulled your butt off the field faster. He'd had me playing center, and he didn't want that.
Yeah.
If the effort was, if he thought I was going to give the most effort, I'd seen him do it. So I thought the effort was much better. I know it looked like Shaq McCoy got in quite a bit more.
You did.
Harris, him and Harris split quite a bit of time. I'm not sure Harris played a guard any or not. I didn't totally.
I didn't totally see that, but yeah.
I have no idea. He might not have. They may have just legit been rotating Harris and McCoy. I don't know. Because I watched the first half and then the second half I was playing golf. But I had it.
Well, I think some of that was expected with McCoy. I think this is the time of the year that, from the way they were talking about McCoy, I think this is the time of year we expected to start seeing more of him. I don't think we expected to see him scoring a touchdown like we did last week, but or again last game against Notre Dame. But
Notre Dame, yeah.
I think we expected. I expected him to be getting in the game more and more as the year went on, and so that wasn't a shocker to me.
Well, you got to see what you got, at some day, because he couldn't have been cheap to bring in.
Well, and they keep saying he's a physical specimen and all this stuff, and they keep talking about him, and they just say he just doesn't know the offense as well as Harris. So as he gets to know the offense better, that caveat between the two starts to disappear, and it becomes who can make the better plays and who can play better. And so he's just got the physical size and ability that very few humans have. He's 6'8", 350. I mean, he's a huge man, and he's not fat. I mean, he's just a athletic looking dude.
Just a big dude. At the end of the day, you spent a lot of money to get him here. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you're still going to have him next year when the portal season opens, but I mean, you obviously, there's a lot to figure out before we get to the portal season. I thought the defense played much, much, much better. I will say this, and I say this with all sincerity. I think Tennessee was the best team we played this year.
Yeah, possibly. I think some of that'll be figured out in the end. Maybe the best offense for sure.
And I think we played much better on defense. I mean, we still had. You don't have 3 turnovers. I don't think you lose that game.
Yeah,
I think if you win the turnover battle, you probably win that football game, but you didn't.
Yeah.
So
you're exactly right. And I mean, there was still some things with every game. Okay, there's things to pick on defense. There were still some things that wasn't right. There were still some missed tackles. You're going to have those in every game, though. There were still some fits that weren't right. Some people not in the right place at times. But that's going to happen against that good of an offense. I mean, we held their offense to their lowest total of the year, So, I mean, you got to say something to that. So you can't really be too hard on the defense, even with the mistakes you saw. And on the other side of the ball, I don't think Taylor Green had his best game.
No, he didn't.
The fumbles were, not good. One of them was a little more understandable than the other. But I just like the fourth down call. The one that Petrino, and I
I
got to
didn't
give
like
Petrino.
I didn't like the call to go
I
for
didn't
it.
either. But the thing was, Clint, if you watch the play, if Talon would have made the right reads, he had two guys he could have got the ball to.
Yeah.
Sharp was open, and that was who they really kind of wanted to go to. And he went to the other side. And on the other side, if he would have thrown, and here's the thing, and look, I hate to do this, but I'm going to do it. I think one of the things we've seen, and I want to give credit to our buddy Joey because I think he's said this to me in our conversations. He's not the biggest Taylor Green fan. I think he gets frustrated because everybody compares him to Matt Jones, and he thinks Matt Jones is much better. But one of the things he's talked about, and I think one of the things we're seeing is Taylor Green doesn't have the clutch gene that you'd like to see.
Yeah, that makes
Because
sense.
in that situation, and in other situations like that, he tends to hold on to the ball and not get it out as quick as he should, as he does in other plays. Because sometimes he does get the ball out quickly.
Yeah.
But so much in offense is throwing not just to the right guy, not just an accurate ball, but throwing it at the right time in the person's route. You got to throw while they're in the middle of a zone. You got to throw while if they're in man while they're switching to another man. You got to throw it in the right place at the right time when they're in their cut, when they're coming out of their cut. You got to know all those things. And he tends to hold on to the ball and overthink things a little too much. Now, he doesn't do that as much when you let him just run it. If he
Yeah.
can just use his athleticism, he doesn't tend to do that as much. And so I think that's just something we just that Bobby has to game plan around. And I think he does to an extent, but he also tries to get him to make the right plays too. Well,
No, no, you're 100% right, and we've got to see. I know Taylor's a good quarterback. We got to see more. We got to see some clutch plays. We got to see you make those fourth downs.
yeah. All right. So players of the game.
I thought the offensive line played better. I mean, they haven't played bad. But you know what? The offense, they looked better. They looked a lot more lively. So I'm giving it to Bobby Petrino. Petrino, he came in. The team just looked. It had a more business-like approach to it. I just like the way the team came out. And it is, it's like a team that had quit, came back. It was a team quit. So I got to give it to Petrino.
Well, you're reading my mind because I was going to go with Petrino also. And look, spoiler alert, I'm not the biggest Petrino fan. If you've listened
No,
to this, if you talk to me, he's not on my short list I mean, if he ends up being the next coach, I'll be okay with that. He may win me over by the end of the season, but I was impressed in a lot of ways. For one thing, with the fourth down call, he said, I messed up.
yeah,
And that wasn't coach speak, I don't think. I think that was just him telling what he really thought. And I appreciated that.
yeah,
And he didn't, and going back looking at it, he could have put it on Taylor because you could go back and say he called the right play there. That if his player if the right read would have been made. But anyway,
no,
other than that, the fact you pointed out, they played with more heart. The team that looked like they let go of the rope, grabbed back a hold of the rope. And they did that, Clint, in a week or 2 weeks that was very difficult. They lost the head coach that they all loved and cared about.
yeah,
And then he had to make extremely difficult decisions to fire 3 defensive coaches. Okay. And that was, and 3 defensive coaches that those players loved, man.
Okay, well, let me ask you a question, Travis. Because let's say, do you think Petrino really wanted to get rid of those guys? And this is me just being conspiracy theory. Or do you think he knew, like, the fan base will revolt if I don't?
See, but don't you think if he would have just got rid of Travis Williams, that would have been enough?
Probably. You're probably right. Just getting rid of Travis Williams would probably done.
I think if he just would have got rid of Deke Adams, that wouldn't have been enough.
Right. Well, I think obviously he knew they had to change. They had to do something to change the culture on defense, and they
And
did.
I think he changed it big time by letting those three go.
Yep. And that's
And
kind of why I'm getting to Travis. My defensive player of the game, my defensive MVP is Robert Petrino. The they're just there's I mean, look, the defense still
yeah,
gave up plays. Tennessee has looked unbelievable on offense.
yeah,
They pushed, they took Georgia to overtime. Tennessee's got a good football team, a likely, in my opinion, a playoff team. Um, but I mean, obviously, they still got to play Alabama. I think they play Alabama this week.
yeah,
If they beat Alabama, I think Tennessee is definitely a playoff team, Travis.
yeah.
Just believe that. I also think Ole Miss is a playoff team. So I think we've played, all kidding aside, we've played 3 potential playoff teams already.
Yeah.
4 if you count Memphis, because Memphis is, I think, Memphis and South Florida are inside track to the playoffs. I think whoever wins that game will probably, and they may, I don't know if they play during the regular season, but there's a good chance they'll have to play twice. That American Conference is looking good. I watched North Texas play South Florida for a while, and that was just two good football teams.
Yeah.
And the one that made the least amount of mistakes won. Yeah, but yeah, anyway, I got off on a tangent there, Travis.
Well, and
reel me back in.
My defensive, since I already said Petrino, but I agree with you. I mean, you could say Petrino for all of it because I think what he did these 2 weeks to get them ready for this game. Now, the jury's still out on what the rest of the season looks like. But for this game, what he did, and like I said, making those tough decisions on the defense and everything, yeah. But I'll go with Dix, as I thought he played much better. He was the leader we wanted him to be at the beginning of the year. I think it was a wake up call for him, and considering his position coach, who was the defensive coordinator, was also one of the ones that was let go, a guy that he came here to play for, and he was still willing to step up like that. When some guys could have just said, "I'll just hold it out," I'll just coast. He didn't, and he tried to be a leader on the team. So that's my 2. Now we get ready for those dirty Aggies coming in.
The dirty Aggies. You know what's funny? As I said, we've played 3 playoff contenders. Well, welcome number 4.
That's right.
Coming into Fayetteville for the first time in a while.
Yep.
When's the last time Texas A&M has been to Fayetteville, Travis?
I heard it this week.
It has to be since the Southwest Conference days. I would have to imagine.
Yeah, I can't rember. We
went
down there and played during the COVID year.
Yeah, that's one of the things Pittman was salty about. That we ended up having to go down there. He said, "No,
there wasn't a return trip." But
yeah,
and they're a tough team, man. This game is going to be won or lost in the trenches because they have a defensive and offensive line that has their trenches are talented.
Yeah,
and that's where our lines are going to have to step up, and especially our defensive line to try to stop their mobile quarterback, their running game, but he can also fling it every now and then too.
No, and A&M Arkansas seems to always be a pretty good game. You definitely got to give A&M the edge. I mean, they just seem to they have they're the more talented football team. They just are. I mean, but it's at home. It's a 2:30 game, so some of those rednecks have a chance to get a little bit more lubricated before the game, get a little bit more warmed up. So I think it's going to be a loud environment in Fayetteville. But I don't know. It seems like Pittman's teams never played well in Fayetteville. Maybe Petrino can reverse that curse.
And he's making some changes. I don't know if you saw the press conference, but they were talking about he changed the schedule where he's bringing them in on Sunday afternoon now, whereas Pittman gave them Sunday off. What he said makes a lot of sense. He gets them in there. They watch the film on Sunday instead of having the extra day, uh, to kind of forget about Saturday.
Right.
He also gets them, the ones that played, he just gets them running a little bit so that they can stretch out, get their bodies back. And then he also, during that time, gets the ones that didn't play very much or didn't play at all and runs through a regular practice with them during that time. So,
Yeah.
like the backups, he mentioned like a Grayson Wilson who's redshirting. On Sunday got to run instead of running the scout team offense, the other team's offense, he got to run the Razorback offense for that
Right.
day for that practice. And he said,
Well,
and
and
that,
it's invaluable. It is going to be invaluable to those kids. It's going to be invaluable to him because here's what's going to happen in the season. Maybe Petrino hears, maybe he's not.
yeah,
What could happen is the running back coach could go to Tulsa. The wide receiver coach could go to North Texas. Petrino could wind up, head coach at SMU. I mean, I'm just throwing just random names out here.
yeah,
But all these guys could go elsewhere, and you have a coach that's seen you on tape,
yeah.
seen you. So I mean, I just because the offense, the staff is going to look incredibly different next year, Travis. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
obviously we know that, but
Yeah. All right. So before we get into the rest of what we're going to talk about, what's your prediction for this weekend?
um, A&M 31, Arkansas 25. Are they
I'm
going to
gonna
score 25? I don't have a clue, but it's going to happen.
I'm gonna go I'm gonna I'm gonna go the old Tennessee score 28-24 A&M.
Okay. Very well could be. Very well could be.
We'll see what happens though. So I don't
And
know.
I hope we're both wrong because I live in Aggie country.
Yeah, yeah, you
I
don't
was
want to.
doing I was doing the Lord's work the other day. Every time I drove past, because there was a lot of because the Red River Shootout was this weekend,
Oh yeah,
and so there's a lot of people that are flying the Longhorn flag. So I just every time I go by,
that's right.
even on the golf course, I was
That'll
giving them the horns down.
hang.
Now, Trav. Speaking of Texas, I know we're about to get in the big board. I think there's a realistic path where or big board's not necessary that they give Petrino the job. And I
Yeah,
just want to ask you if this scenario plays out. Okay, so we got A&M coming in. Let's say it's the score you say, 28-24. They lose by 4 to A&M.
yeah,
Then the next week is Auburn, correct?
I think so. Yeah,
Auburn at home, I believe. Yeah, you got Auburn at home. So you got Auburn. Auburn's gettable, even though they got hosed against Georgia, got absolutely cheated.
by the way, Kirby Smart is a freaking liar. I lost a ton of respect for that guy in that game.
Go please do
Just gonna
tell.
say it out loud. But hey, this is clapping. This is clapping, making a T with my palm and my fingers. Look, I was just clapping. I was just clapping, y'all. Come on. I mean, yeah, it couldn't happen to a better guy than Hugh Freeze, but still,
And the whole
really.
yeah.
I mean, and then the referees or whatever, like, okay, whatever, Kirby, sure, you were
Yeah,
clapping, we'll give it to you.
no, that was pretty ridiculous.
It was
But
terrible.
so
Anyway,
Auburn, I think, is still winnable. It is winnable. So let's say we win that one. Then we got Mississippi State, if I'm not mistaken.
yep,
Let's say you get that one. You get Mississippi State. Then you got to go to Baton Rouge. And let's say you lose that one
yeah,
31-28. You can then so you got your last two games. You got
Texas and Missouri.
Texas and Missouri. So you end with probably you end with the three most hated schools
Yeah.
for Arkansas's fan base. So you if you go to Texas and you beat Texas, you win that game. You win at Texas, which Texas is gettable. Their offensive line reminds me of the offensive line that run KJ Jefferson.
Yeah.
I mean, that offensive line is bad.
Yeah.
I can't believe Texas's offensive line is that bad. Poor Arch Manning is running for his life.
Yeah.
But I can't judge Arch Manning this year just because that offensive line is literally that bad. But so if you go to Texas and you win, which is a winnable game, it really is. I said it before the beginning of the year, like that game's unwinnable. That game's winnable.
Yeah.
So and then you end, so you win that one. I think that's enough right there. But if the Arkansas has done that, they have won 3 games. And who you going to take? You going to take Petrino or Drinkwitz? After Thanksgiving. I mean, it's So it's a gettable. I think, and I don't think he has to win that game to get the job. I think he beats Auburn, Mississippi State, and Texas. I think Petrino's the next head football coach. What do you think?
No, I agree with you. I think, look, here's what I think has to happen. I think he's got to win 3. He might, and I think these things, I think it's a sliding scale. I think there's 3 factors in this. Okay. And I think it's a sliding scale. Okay. I think you win 2 games, but one of them's Texas, or you finish off the season beating Missouri finally. Okay. And you win, and say you beat Auburn or Mississippi State one, right?
Just one of them. You don't have to get both of them. I think he's got
Just
to win.
One. Well, listen, if you get those 2 and every other game is close and they show the same fight they showed against Tennessee, right? And the right people tell you no. Okay. So your top list, that if you're Hunter Yurachek and you're the board and you're the people you're trying to get, if the right people say no, and like I said, it's a sliding scale here. Okay. So if the right people say no on your list because other jobs open up, now Penn State's open. Now, you got all these, Virginia Tech, you got Oklahoma State, you got all these others. And some of the guys you're wanting, that you're going for, are going to those schools instead. And that could open up. Look, if Matt Rule goes to Penn State, that Nebraska's open. That's a competitor for us for a head coach, right?
Yeah.
And so if that's going to be a sliding scale there. If we lose another game like we did Notre Dame, where it looks like we let go of the rope, it doesn't matter that we lose to somebody. It matters how we look like in the loss.
Yeah, okay? It definitely has to be. Yeah, we definitely have to stay competitive.
I mean, Petrino's got the inside track on it. He does for sure. And I think in the scenario you put out, I think it's a shoe-in almost. I think, the only people that got to tell you no on that list are like Urban Myers and Rhett Lashley. And I think Rhett Lashley's already saying no, if you ask me.
No.
I think, in fact, he's not even on my list.
No, and I think, and I hate to say this. I don't hate to say this at all. Florida State's going to be open probably by the end of the year.
Possibly, yeah.
Mike Norvell's going to be employed.
Kentucky's going to be open.
Yeah. UAB just fired Trent Dilfer. Not that we're competing with UAB.
By the way, you see who their interim is?
Yeah, I was going to say Alex Mortensen.
Yeah.
Chris Mortensen's boy, former Arkansas quarterback. I don't think it was Arkansas backup quarterback. But, backups are people too, Travis. Anyway.
Hey, well, think about that. That's 3 Arkansas backups that didn't play much that are head coaches at some, decent schools. You got Lashley, you got Mortensen, and you got Dow Loggins.
So. And that's not even a count that Barry Lundy Jr. is the offensive coordinator at Illinois.
Well, and Gus Malzahn was a backup at Arkansas.
Yeah. So definitely Arkansas's got some college football coaches out there.
Yeah.
So Trav, you know what? I've been checking my messages. I've got the inside track, inside non-existent sources.
You got the inside sources. I got the outside non-existent.
Outside non-existent sources.
Imaginary
or sources. They don't exist.
That's right.
Kind of like the moon landing, you
but
kids. Look into it.
but they're so
They're so
they're
accurate.
so connected and so accurate.
So no, so it's more of the big C's wish list, I guess, is how you would say it.
Yeah,
So
and here's how we're going to do this. These are the people that we think are realistic and that we would like. People that we think we actually got a chance to get and that we like. And we're going to do three, right? Our top three.
right, so and I'm gonna do it as my number one first.
Oh, you're doing your number one first?
Well, okay. You know what? I got to think about number three, Travis. No,
Oh,
I'll go
okay.
ahead and give you my number three. Yeah, it is
Well,
Mr.
we'll do a couple of honorable mentions at the end.
Okay. Eric Morris is Eric Morris is close to the top of my list. I'm gonna put him number three. He is the current North Texas coach.
Yeah,
he is like a quarterback whisperer. Was Mahomes all OC at Texas Tech? Coached Baker Mayfield at Texas Tech. The kid at North Texas, 0-star recruit, looking unbelievable.
Gave Cam Ward his start.
Gave Cam Ward his start.
The kid at Oklahoma his start.
Yeah. So I'm definitely going to go. I'm going with Eric Morris. I'm all about me some Eric Morris.
Okay. Well, my number three, and once again, this is personal. This is okay, but I think he's a possibility. I don't know how big of a possibility, but he's had a conversation before with Hunter Yurachek about the job. He wasn't ready then. Deion Sanders.
You know what? I could see Deion. Deion's just got to look at it. Does he think he can win bigger in Colorado?
Yeah.
Or can win bigger in Arkansas?
Well, and look, is Deion in the argument against Deion, and I'll throw it out there first thing is he hasn't proven he can win big yet. He's won some games he shouldn't have. He's lost some games he shouldn't have. Can he sustain it? We don't know that for sure, but he's gonna get recruits. He's gonna get money. He's gotten money to Colorado. Okay. He's gonna get attention. He's gonna bring he's gonna bring the Musselman factor. Okay. He knows how to use social media better than Musselman did, but he's gonna bring some of that factor like Musselman did to the basketball team, but on a bigger scale. And also, man, I just love the way he loves his players. I love the way he treats his players. I like, I mean, I think he'd be somebody that Mike could do some great things. He surrounds himself with some talented coaches and stuff. And the kid, and he's going to, those kids last week in the locker room after the game, they got to hear from Michael Irvin. I mean, if I'm a kid thinking about a school and I can think about an SEC school and I'm going to have people like Michael Irvin hanging out at my games and my practices, sign me up, dude.
Yeah. Anyway. Well, and a lot of it becomes NIL budget at some point too.
Well, if nothing else, I can sell the autographs I get from them on eBay. All right. Who's your second one?
Number two on my list, current offensive coordinator of the Washington Commanders, Cliff Kingsbury.
Okay.
He is number two on my list. I have not seen anything connecting with the job. Former Texas Tech head coach, quarterback. I believe. Just look what he's done. He was the head coach with Baker and Mahomes too, wasn't he?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously he's got that on his resume. Look what he's done with Jaden Daniels in the NFL. Obviously, Jaden's been a little banged up. He hasn't had quite the year this year that he last year, but the Commanders look amazing. Yeah. And part of the problem that Cliff had at Texas Tech, he's got a little bit of an abrasive personality. Him and Baker, for example, butted heads quite a bit. It's different now. I almost think in college you need a more of an abrasive. You need a Petrino, Cliff Kingsbury type to kind of be a little bit more abrasive. I think that honestly works better in this version of college football than did the old days. Because the old days, you get kids in and you develop them.
Yeah.
And then now you get kids in, they practice for a couple of years, and you don't know where they're going to end up. Yeah. It's just
and with him too, he's older than he was then.
Yeah.
And he's been through some humbling experience failing in Arizona,
Yeah.
and that teaches people a lot. So,
well, Texas Tech, I don't think should have fired him. He never had a disaster season. He was just, he'd go 6-6, 7-5, and they're like, well, this ain't good enough.
and
And
they
so
wasn't getting the support that they're getting now at Texas Tech.
no, they definitely that NIL budget now is probably more than
Yeah.
more than Cliff Kingsbury's budget. So Kingsbury, I think someone that we should take a look at 110%.
Yeah, I agree with you. He's not on my list though, but my number 2 is a guy that wouldn't have been on my list, but I've talked myself into him. And part of it is because I'm hearing that he's very interested in the job and that his agent is already in contact. There's rumors out there that it's happening, that is happening. And so the
Now, is
more
this for
I've
real?
heard,
There's not existent.
well, okay, those were people that have inside sources that are they claim are existent.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
But
So you
anyway,
heard it from a guy that heard it from a guy, and that's
yeah,
what you.
yeah. So, but it's Dan Mullins,
Yeah.
the guy did it at Mississippi State. He did it at Florida, except for 1 year, and he got ran out. Now, and I'll come back to comparing him to somebody else in a minute because I think I know who else is on your list. But and he's 6-0 at UNLV right now.
Yeah.
Plus, I think his personality fits well in Arkansas. He's got a little bit of that Houston nut, all shucks, that I mean, I think he's got a little bit of that country sort of, atmosphere, where people kind of like him. And so like I said, if you would have asked me this 3 or 4 weeks ago, I wouldn't have even had him in my top 10 probably. But the more I've thought about it, the more I've looked at it, he's moved up to number 2 on my list.
Trav, my number 1 would not have been released to me last week. And so you did know who my number 1 was.
Yeah.
Jerry Franklin's my number 1. The man has did nothing but have had Penn State as a perennial playoff contender, New Year's Six contender year in and year out. And the man won at Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Won at Vanderbilt. I mean, he did it without Diego too.
That's right.
But I mean,
without the 10th year senior,
Now I don't know what's I don't know what his buyout situation is as far as does he have to, try to mitigate, but because you know what he is making pure minute, every minute for the next 4 years from Penn State. Do you know what he is making?
No.
$15 a minute. You remember when there was a push to pay all fast food workers $15 an hour?
Yeah.
I went into McDonald's one time. I'm like, if this bunch makes $15 an hour, I'm moving to Mexico. I'm like, like, I won't even go to Canada. I'll go down south, brother.
That's right.
I'm like, I'm leaving the United States because that. Anyway, I don't know what they're paying, but they're probably getting what they paid for.
Yeah.
And I was getting what I paid for, which was McDonald's.
That's right. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I can't believe Penn State fired him. I think any more people are they're trying to get out in front firing in the NIL area because they know, okay, we got to get the next coach hired. Like as soon as the season ends, it's important to have. So I think you're going to see less and less. They call it Black Sunday when like everybody just gets terminated.
Yeah.
I think you're going to see a lot more firing in season. But that's just my opinion. I can't believe Jerry Franklin's going to be on the market.
And it's James Franklin.
James. I said, did I say Jerry?
Yeah, Jerry.
Who's Jerry Franklin?
I don't know. He played linebacker for the Razorbacks.
Well, there you go. James Franklin. I'm so sorry. I want him so bad I don't even get his name right.
Yeah.
James Franklin's my number 1.
Well, and look.
And his brother Jerry.
Do I think James Franklin would be a great coach at Arkansas? Yes.
Yeah.
However, I think it's going to be hard to hire somebody that just now got fired.
Yeah. But I mean, I get it.
And And that's why Dan Mullins, I know Dan Mullins got fired at Florida, but there's been some time, and he also is 6-0 at UNLV right now.
Yeah.
So that's why he's on my list and Franklin is not. Okay. And also, there's been some stats that come out about Franklin, because I know a lot of people are saying Franklin. I'm not trying to poo-poo on your pick there because
No, you're good.
I think Franklin's a wonderful.
I feel strongly about it. I don't even get his name right. So
I think Franklin could be the best, very well could be the best coach out there right now. Okay, of any of the ones that are even mentioned. Okay,
but like you said, there's going to become a domino effect.
Yeah,
because who's Penn State? I think right now, if you talk about all the job openings, and I love Arkansas, and I feel I couldn't in good conscience put Arkansas number one.
No,
or I couldn't. I mean, Penn State is the number one job open.
Yeah,
and then I think Arkansas, you make a strong case for number two.
But I think you could also argue Oklahoma State's a better job.
And same thing with Virginia Tech.
Now, Virginia Tech, I think they have money issues a little, even more so than we do at Arkansas.
So what I'm saying is, you get into like, okay, tomato, which team's better? You get it. I mean, Penn State, I think by far. So you think, you hear Matt Rule connected to it, and he didn't exactly come out and say, "No, I'm not going to Penn State." Yeah. So
you get into, if Nebraska comes open, you put them above Arkansas. You put Florida State comes open, you put them. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
But anyway, and there's a couple other things. One of the things that have come out about Franklin since, and I got to get to my number one in a second, but I'm just wanting to throw this out there because it's
go ahead.
I heard stats this put out there. His record against top 5 and top 10 teams is very like he hasn't beaten a top 5 or top 10 team. Now you may say, well, there's lots of people that haven't beaten a top 5 or top 10 teams. That's the best teams in the country. The only problem with that is at the time he was ranked, his teams were ranked in the top 5 and top 10. He had the talent on his team that those top 5 and top 10 teams. So it's different than if you're talking about a guy at Arkansas and his record against top 5 and top 10 teams. That's different than a guy been 12 years at Penn State and facing top 5 and top 10 teams when you have everything you need to win those games, or at least win a couple of them. And he hasn't done that. Okay. So that's the knock on him. And so that's where the idea is, that's the knock on him. My number one, and for some reason at the beginning, this guy clicked with me, and I like him. The more I hear about him, the more I hear. And I think he's a real possibility to consider the job and to want to come here. And that's Alex Golish.
Okay.
From South Florida.
No, that because I almost texted you or Marco Poloed you the other day when I was watching South Florida play North Texas. I'm like, dude, this is a good football game. You need to watch. Yeah. You need to watch it. And then
I watched some of it. Yeah.
And then they got away from North Texas in the second half. So no, he would be a great candidate. I mean, he's looking amazing at South Florida.
He's 41 years old. He's he was under Josh Heupel. We got to see what that offense looks like a little bit. So that's the kind of offense he would run. He's Russian. He's originally from Russia.
Okay.
But he does have an Arkansas connection. And his wife is from Arkansas. She's from Greenwood.
Okay.
And she comes to Arkansas once a month because she does something with nursing homes where she does some sort of whatever it's called. She comes and works with nursing homes in Arkansas once a month. And so they have some connections with the state. And that's a big part, whether we, like to think about that or not, these coaches have families and you got to sell the whole family.
Yeah. You got to sell the whole family. There's so much that goes into it. I remember when it came, like it was a realistic possibility that Chris Peterson was coming here, being close to Children's Hospital was a big deal. There's all kinds of
Yeah.
different factors that go into it.
So that Golish was mine. Now I did have a couple on my, you know, others to think about, and one of them was Morris. I think you're right there. I think he's the negative on him is do we want another coach last name Morris?
Yeah, no,
After
there
the
you
last
go.
one.
Well, it's kind of the same thing with Rhett Lashley getting a coach from SMU. Do we really want to go that route again?
Yes, right. Yeah. Chad Morris just ruined it for everybody. So
Just run.
and then GJ Khan from uh gosh, where's he at? He's down in Texas State.
Yeah. I think the long and story and short of it is, Travis, this is not going to be the disaster. I mean, Pittman, while he was a great fallback option, he stabilized this thing where it's a lot more attractive job than it was.
Yeah.
And I think especially when we get some of the NIL stuff figured out, it's going to be even a more attractive job. And but at the end of the day, we've named all these names, but I still think Petrino has got the inside track to the gig. But he's going to have to perform on the field. He's getting an extended audition, and let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you, if you're Virginia Tech, if you're Oklahoma State, if you're one of these teams, you're fortunate that you have somebody like Petrino that come in, be a serious contender for the job, but do it in the interim.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, we can seeing if Petrino still has it. And so it's a good chance for Petrino to prove himself. And so I do think it would make the state really happy is if he wins some football games and they make him the head coach.
Yeah.
I think
if this season ends up on a positive note, I mean, I think you're right. Petrino has it.
Trev,
And I can get on here sometime. I won't do it today because things are positive right now, but I can talk about my football reasons why I don't. And I've talked about them before a little bit, but why I think Petrino is not the best of fits, and it has nothing to do with, and my concerns are not necessarily due with the motorcycle deal and all that kind of stuff.
No. I think there's a lot of deficiencies on the deep.
Because I'm all for the redemption story. Okay. And I like the fact that he's getting a chance to redeem himself. And so if he can leave this, whether it's him or whether it's somebody else, if he can come back and play that part of leaving this team, we need to get someone hired
because Pittman needs to sell his house. He's got it on sale for like $7 million.
Well, and it was since it was Anderson's house before him.
Yeah.
So maybe, and one thing I did hear the other day, Clint, that's interesting is Arkansas was actually, I think Biddy was talking about this, was Arkansas was actually smart in when they fired Pittman. Because what happened was when they fired him, the 30-day transfer portal window opened, right?
Right.
And it was before they changed the rule and got rid of the second transfer portal window, right?
Right.
And so now what happens, like with Franklin just got fired, a 15-day portal window opens right now. And then like and then the one opens up at the end of the season also. Anyway, I forget exactly how Biddy explained it, but it was
because you butchered it, my friend.
I sure did, didn't I?
You butchered that. I mean, I've seen butchers do worse things.
Yeah. But he was talking about how it was really smart the way they did it because we fit in under the old rule of the transfers. And
yeah, Trav, I was going to bring something up before you. I know we're out of time, but I really hope that Pittman gets a shot in TV.
Yeah,
the SEC Network or somebody comes in, brings him in as like an analyst because he's so charismatic and folksy and just down home. Yeah. I think he would be just a perfect fit for SEC Network or something like that to bring him in.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
for sure. I agree with you. I don't want this to be the last we saw of Pittman for sure.
No, Sam Pittman's good for college football. He just is, and I hope we see a lot more of him. Like I said, I just think he was a head coach for a different time. He just bad luck. If he was in this system where you got high school kids and then you kept them for 4 years, it's different world, different world. And I think he adapted it. And you don't know, you look at some all time greats. You look at Dabo. Dabo's having trouble adjusting to it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Urban Meyer and Nick Saban looked at it and like, we're good. Let's go do TV.
Yeah.
Because who would you say is the best head coach in college football right now? Ryan Day. He hasn't been a head coach that long.
Yeah, that's right.
Most of it's kind of like the NBA. When I was talking about who's going to grab that brass ring, you got your Dan Lannings, your Lane Kiffins, and you got a bunch of guys like that are like I'm going to be the next guy.
Yeah, that's right. So, well, folks, just keep rooting on those Hogs. That's the main thing, and just keep rooting them on. Keep fighting. Thankfully they showed some fight. They grabbed back hold of the rope this week, and hopefully they'll do the same against A&M at home. Yeah,
you know why we won this podcast today? We won this podcast. You know why?
Why is that?
Because you wore the black hoodie.
That's right.
You wore the black hoodie.
That's right.
We're 12-3 in podcasts. We wear the black hoodie.
That's right. I don't know how we kept up with that record, but okay, sure.
No, I just made it up.
Yeah, okay. It's kind of like our sources.
There you
go. Well, folks, like, share, subscribe, comment, all the things. Please pass it around Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and all that. Follow us on all those places. TikTok also. And check us out. So, Clint, man.
Bye, everybody.
Have a great rest of your week, buddy.
Bye, guys. Whoop it.
Sweat, work, filthy, dirt, harvest, hurt, kingdom come. Sweat, work, filthy, dirt, harvest, hurt, kingdom come. Listen, that's why I sweat when I work. My hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no harvest till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come. Listen, I wake up in the morning, I bow my head to pray. Mama told me if I don't, ain't nothing gonna change. These prayers breaking up hard ground so I can sow the seed. Ain't afraid of no aches and pain. Lord knows I gotta follow his lead. That's why I sweat when I work. My hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no harvest till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come.